About 70% of you are at risk of not having enough money to be able to maintain the level and your standards of living that you had pre-retirement for your retirement. That's really, really scary. I hear you. So today, you and I are going to have a grown-up, very real talk about what you can do now, like right now, to make sure that you have a successful retirement. I have 2 tips for you, down to earth, that I guarantee you, if you take advantage of them now, you should be okay. If you think about it, you have another 30 to 40 years ahead of you because the longevity has gotten bigger. 30 to 40 years of planning to make sure that you have some really good golden years, that's a very long time. And I hear you guys, you are all nervous and anxious and scared and even angry with some of the things that are happening around you right now, and you may not know where to turn. The one thing I want you to know is that you're not alone. Quite a few of you, a big percentage of you, is worried, and there are other people around you who also feel the same way. So let's talk about what you can do now to help yourself. So here's your focus number 1. I really want you to stop complaining and moaning about what is going on and what is happening. Did you know that it actually takes 43 muscles to make a frown and to have a mad face? So that's 1. And 2, it only takes 17 muscles to be happy and have a positive outlook on life. 43 versus 17. And here's the other fact that I can tell you. Complaining and moaning and not being happy is not going to change anything. All that does is you're using your time and you're wasting your energy on things that are not going to change because you're just kind of just throwing it up there in the universe. There is no point in complaining about things that you cannot control. What is going on in the geopolitical world? What is happening around your neighborhood? What is the cost of things that are happening right now? What is the government doing or not doing? Or the potholes that are in your neighborhood that nobody's fixing? You don't have control over that. And you know what? Let's focus on the things that you can control, and that is really a better use of your time. So the best thing and the only thing that I encourage you to do is to focus on the things that you can control. And these are the reactions to others and the actions that you take to do something to help you and to propel you forward. Which brings me to my focus number 2. This is the conversation that we're having today, very raw and honest. And the focus number 2 is I want you to get off your chair or couch or wherever you're sitting and actually take action. 1 step at a time, 1 foot in front of the other. Because thinking about things is not going to help you. Writing things down absolutely is a start, but until you actually act upon your plans and your thoughts, nothing is going to happen. You have to take action. I want you to think about small progress. A lot of the times we get hung up on this big mountain of, I have to do these major renovations in my home, and how am I going to save millions of dollars for my retirement, and what am I going to do? And then you go down that rabbit hole that is very hard to get out of. I want you to stop doing that. I want you to focus on what you can focus on and do today, this afternoon, this week. That is it. We're going to take very small steps and make small progress. Because guess what? If you make just 1% progress and do it consistently, you're going to be almost 37% better by the time that the year is over. And guess what? 37% better is an amazing accomplishment. How do you get there? You take it 1 step, 1% at a time. Another thing that I want you to stop doing is dwelling on the past. Thinking about this and just kind of mulling it over and constantly saying, oh, only if I wish I would have done this or that. That's also not going to help you. What is going to help you is taking a small amount of time, analyzing what happened, taking those lessons with you and saying, okay, I am not going to make the same mistakes again. Here's the lesson from that. I am learning, and guess what? I'm moving forward. So grab a notebook and write down, what does that actually mean? What are those some of the steps that you can take in planning for your retirement, no matter where you are in your life journey right now. You can start by creating a spreadsheet. That's your step one. You can then start putting information in there on the expenses that you have on a regular basis. And then once a week, you fill that spreadsheet and then you put a reminder on your calendar. Just once a week, go in for 5 minutes and do that information. And then the next week, you're going to put all of the income that you have coming in. That's one step at a time. You can write down your monthly bills that you have in your notebook. Another day, you can write down the things that you want to do in your retirement. What does your bucket list or the list of possibilities, it's kind of like a more positive spin on the bucket list, looks like? What do you want to do? What are some of your goals that you have in your retirement? And I really do want you to have goals because you have another 30 to 40 years ahead of you. What are you going to do? Sit on the couch and watch TV? I don't think so. So create new lists, start new things, jot down your ideas. Your first step could be as simple as, I have a notebook and a pen. Your second step could be as simple as, I'm going to write down the things that I want to do in my retirement that I never got to do because I was working so hard to save, or to put my kids through college, or to pay off my mortgage, whatever those things were. Just write them down. It is better than just thinking about it, watching TV, and wondering, how am I going to retire? How am I going to live my golden years? How am I not going to run out of money? All these questions are great, but if you don't take action, nothing is going to happen. And one of the best ways for you to actually get into action is a quote from one of my favorite people, Mel Robbins. Here's what you do. You're going to count down from 5, then you're going to say go, and you're actually going to get into the action. So here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you go. So this is what I have to share with you today, guys. Very real conversation. We're going to stop complaining. We're going to get into action. So now I can't wait to hear your comments and suggestions on what you are doing with your planning. How are you taking action? Please put that in the comments so we can have a really good discussion.